Next, we're going to work on teaching our dog to hold the object in their mouth. So, much easier said than done, but given the idea that your dog already knows how to drop it on the floor and drop it into your hand, which would mean giving you the object, um, we want it to be implied that the dog hold on to the object until you either give the dog the verbal cue to give it or drop it, or you present your hand, meaning a visual target to place the object into your hand. So it's not necessary to have a verbal cue to hold it. I think it's kind of implied here that the dog hold on to the object until you give him some sort of cue to release it or to place it into something, whether it's a basket or a bucket. Okay, so you're going to see me working with Molly here. This is a new object that she's never interacted with up until this point, so I'm going to start by shaping interest in the object. And you can see I'm starting above her head because I know that once she's willing to put it in her mouth, then that's going to be easier to get some sort of short duration of her holding the object in her mouth because she's going to hold it above her head and then lower it to either my hand or to the ground. But right now she's nudging it, so we're working up from there until we get to the point where she's putting the object in her mouth. So as you see right there, she put it in her mouth, so that's great. Call that a split second hold. So now she's holding it for a little bit longer, but again, she's getting used to having the object in her mouth. So as you can see on that one right there, I dropped it in her mouth and didn't put my hands down to catch anything to where I could let her hold it for a little bit longer. So as we're teaching this, okay, we need to think of baby steps, all right? Don't expect your dog to hold the object in their mouth, for longer than even 5 seconds at first. Split seconds, then work up from there. Good. So you can see right there where I didn't give her any cue to put the object or drop it or anything like that. I'm letting her work it out. So that time I didn't give her any type of release cue. So I'm letting her work it out to where she can pick it up again, knowing that that object has power. So to do something with that object is the goal, right? So again, I think it's implied that the dog hold on to the object until we give it some sort of release cue, whether it's drop it or give it or dunk it into a bucket or something like that. Um, so I don't think it's necessary to say the word hold. But again, we're working up from this. The goal for this is just to get the dog used to having the object in their mouth, right? Because the end goal for this class is to put together a full retrieve, right? So they likely won't have this object in their mouth for that long, but once they get used to it, you can toss the object and see if your dog is willing to go pick it up and then bring it to you, right? So they would just be needing to hold on to it for the length of the actual retrieve itself, which isn't that long. Um, but this is also a start to where once they understand that holding this object in their mouth is leading them to the next step, we can ask for longer and longer holds. But we don't want our dog to get frustrated, and we want them to succeed at each level. So work up with baby steps. But as you can see, drop it and give are also the end result, with hold or holding on to the object being just an intermediary step. But thank you for watching, and take your time with this. Again, take your time. It should be fun. Help them succeed.